first and second with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning.
So Elmira now with runners on first and second here, as we are live here from Veterans Memorial Field in Little Falls, New York. Stepping up to the plate for the Pioneers, it will be the catcher Jordan Taylor.
And Taylor's called a beautiful game behind the plate, working with Bryson Ho, now hoping to do something with the bat as well. Now on Mrs. Guest inside, so Taylor's ahead of the count. Maybe can sit on a pitch, try to put a good swing on it.
The runners lead off first and second. It's Carrier at second for Elmira and Grana at first after he drew the walk. And now this pitch will miss low, so the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, and if you're Taylor, if you know hitters around you have some success. And also, if you're a catcher, defense is always the first priority, but you definitely want to contribute when you get to come to bat as well.
And now the 2-0. Is swung on. That one skied in the air to right field. This might be a tough play, ranging in the right fielder, and he makes the catch on the run, does Sullivan. And that will be the 3rd out. So Elmira is going to strand 2 runners after the pop fly by the catcher, Jordan Taylor. And we'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning. And the Pioneers have a 4-1 lead against the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs. And we'll also have a pitching change as the night for Bryson Ho will be over as manager Matt Birch makes the walk over to the home plate umpire to give him his pitching change. And we'll see who's coming out of the bullpen here for Elmira after a great start by Bryson Ho.
And Ho is really doing an excellent job keeping the ball on the ground, really not allowing very many hard hits at all. Just a matter of the fielder really turning those ground balls into outs, just throwing them to first and second base successfully. And that's definitely what you want to do as a pitcher. When you can keep the ball down, it becomes much harder for their team to score. They have to piece together a couple of hits in a row instead of just one extra base hit, scoring the runner from first or something along those lines.
And the new pitcher for Elmira is going to be number 27, Zach Biken, a 6-foot, 220-pound left-hander out of Columbia Station, Ohio, a sophomore at University of Pittsburgh at Bradford. As Biken, a returner from last year's Elmira Pioneers squad, as he is making his 2nd relief appearance of the season. Has pretty good zip on his fastball, the left-hander, coming out of Division III, playing in the Allegheny Mountain Collegiate Conference.
Yeah, and the pregame collegiate baseball is really an opportunity for players like Biken to get an opportunity. He's at Division III, but now he gets to come out here. He gets to play against a little more established competition. And if you pitch well, it doesn't matter what competition you play during the regular season. If you can come out and pitch well against more advanced hitters, scouts might take notice. So Biken he pitched well for the Pioneers last year. He had a 2.70 ERA in 3 relief appearances and 2 starts. We'll hope to continue doing that this season.
So Biken will face the 2, 3, and 4 batters, Hawk, Collette, and Craig for Mohawk Valley.
Yeah, and for the Diamond Dogs, they're going to have to deal with a switch to a right-hander to a left-hander, and also maybe a pitcher that throws a little harder, maybe a pitcher who will pitch the ballpark a little more, allow some more contact in the air. And for the Pioneers, that's really, they don't have that big of a deal with that. They really have a very good defensive outfield. And Bryson Ho pitched very well, but maybe not quite the defensive alignment that works best for him as a ground ball pitcher, with some questions in the middle infield defense for the Pioneers so far this year.
So Colin Hawk will lead things off for the Diamond Dogs. He's 0 for 2 on the afternoon. Elmira leading Mohawk Valley 4-1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning from Veterans Memorial Park in Little Falls, New York. First pitch will miss for a ball. Elmira will have one more game tomorrow on the road before returning home on Tuesday, June 10th, as they welcome the Newark Pilots back into Dunfield.
And Biken quickly down 2-0 to the second baseman, Colin Hawk. And here's the pitch. And there's finally a strike. Maybe took a little bit of something off of that. Able to spot on the outside corner that pitch that Ho really did quite successfully in his 5 innings of work.
And now the 2-1 is swung on. That's a pretty good shot out to center field. Dixon going back for it, and he makes the catch on the run. What speed closing on that by T.J. Dixon. That for sure looked like it was going to be way over his head. And he makes the catch just before he gets to the wall. And that is a loud out number 1 for the Diamond Dogs here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Yeah, we were talking before, Doug, about really this is a pretty big ballpark. How maybe center field, what did you say, 410 feet we're estimating? And just stayed in the ballpark.
Yeah, easily over 400 feet out there to the deepest part of center field by the Little Falls Carpet sign, where there's actually some football bleachers out there. This park also utilized for high school football. And actually a couple fans sitting out there. That's a thing I love about a ballpark. Still, you see at the older school minor league parks, people can sit outside of the outfield fence. You don't see that a lot more in the newer minor league stadiums going around. It's really all seating focused behind the field of play. As the ground ball here is going to be through into right field, as that got under the diving glove of Pete Carrier.
And that one really wasn't hit particularly hard by Collette, but just put it in a perfect spot, and he gets a base hit out of it.
So that will be the 3rd hit of the afternoon for the Diamond Dogs. And it'll be the first hit of the game for Colin Hawk, as that'll bring in the 3rd baseman, Zach Collette, who's also 0 for 2 on the afternoon. Actually, excuse me, it'll be Gus Craig at the plate here for the Diamond Dogs.
And Viking and Ludic here running on first base, but once again, just want to ground ball one of your infielders, maybe turn that double play. It's been a little bit tough for the Pioneers, but just give enough chances that one of them will work out.
And a pitch here, swung on, foul territory. Hilson ranging for it towards the netting, and it's going to go out of play. And now Hilson has got his shoe and cleat caught up in the bottom of the fencing over on the 3rd baseline, as he needed some help there from the Diamond Dogs head coach, Blake Nation, which I also want to point out is an awesome name. When I was looking through last night, saw that Blake Nation was their head coach. I'm thinking, wow, that's got to be an awesome, not only baseball name, but just an awesome name to have in general.
Also, obvious name for his fan club.
That is a good one there, Robbie. I wasn't even thinking of that.
And Viking kind of a show me loader first base. Really wasn't much of an effort there. But at least the runner knows that you are paying attention, and basically no risk of throwing that ball away. Snowed extremely softly there.
And jammed the batter, Craig, there on the inner half of the plate.
Yeah, lefty on lefty, Viking against Craig, and he's able to maybe have a little deception there and get by him with that pitch on the inner part of the plate.
So 1-2 the count. Viking checks the runner at first, and he delivers home in a breaking ball. And that one's going to miss low and outside.
Yeah, had the hitter full, but just moved a little bit too far down and doesn't get the call, so it's going to be a 2-2 count to designated hitter Gus Craig for the Diamond Dogs.
So Zach Collette leads off at first after the infield single. And now the 2-2 is going to miss. And working the count full is going to be Craig, and it'll go to 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And it looked like there might have been at least a little bit of a cross-up there. That pitch was very close, but Taylor, he almost expected it to move the other way. Maybe Viking got a little bit on top of that ball.
And the pitch is swung on in a great hit-and-run execution by the Diamond Dogs. And heading for third is Collette. And in with a one-out single is going to be Gus Craig, who's got his 2nd hit of the game, and he's now 2 for 3. And that will bring in the catcher, Eric Strano.
And Viking, now it's a real game here, first and third with 1 out. And certainly don't want to give a run back after how good Bryson Ho pitched, but big deal here. He really hasn't allowed the hardest contact, and it's got to keep attacking hitters and get out of this inning. And that one misses just outside. That's a 1-0 count to Strano.
So first and third here. Strano 0 for 2 in the game. Now a left-handed throwing Viking, and the pitch is in the dirt, but a nice scoop there by Jordan Taylor to hold the runners at their bases.
Yeah, and for Diamond Dogs, they're just excited that Bryson Ho is out of the game, and Vikings really have to execute. They have a fresh start, they have a chance to get back in this game, and it's up to Viking to make sure they don't. Here's a 2-0. That one just up and away, and there'll be a 3-0 count.
So the catcher, Jordan Taylor, going to go out and have a chat here with Zach Viking, who came in to start this bottom of the 6th inning after Bryson Ho went 5 innings, allowing just 1 run on 3 hits for Elmira. His defense did commit 2 errors behind him.
Yeah, and the Pioneers getting their bullpen warming, so they want to make sure that they stay ahead in this inning. But there's a strike by Bikin. A few more pitches like that, and the Pioneers won't need to go to the bullpen.
Get me over fastball. And it looks like number 11 up in the bullpen for Elmira. It's Austin Von Herbulis. And a pitch here swung on in front of Dixon in center field. That's going to score a run, as Dixon will get the ball quickly back into the shortstop, Nick Walker. So it's going to be a 4-2 game here, as Mohawk Valley looks like they are trying to threaten here. Down by just 2 now, as Blake Nation goes over to the home plate umpire. Looks like we might have a pinch hitter here for the Diamond Dogs, as they've got runners on first and second.
Yeah, really a big spot in the game. The tying runs are on base, and Zach Bike and the Pioneers have to find some way to get out of this jam. With first and second, only 1 out.
As we wait to see here who the pinch hitter for the Diamond Dogs will be. At least it gives Bikin a little breather. And it looks like the pinch hitter is going to be number 14. Looks like it's going to be Tyler Lau. Lau, 6'1", 195, a right-handed batter out of Niagara University, a junior.
Yeah, being the right-handed batter to face the lefty Bikin, and let's see if it pays off for Mohawk Valley. And that one's low, and Bikin behind again. It's a 1-0 count.
So number 14, Tyler Lau, will bat for Zane Smith.
And Von Herbulis looks almost ready to bullpen, just waiting for Matt Butcher to give him the call.
And the 1-0 will miss low, so the count out 2-0. And here goes Birch quickly out to the mound. And his catcher, Jordan Taylor, is going to follow him. So as we were mentioning earlier, the Pioneers, a 2-game little road trip here, as they are in Whittle Falls here this evening. And tomorrow will travel and take on the Albany Dutchmen, a 7 p.m. first pitch in Albany. And then Elmira will head back home on Tuesday night, June 10th, as they welcome in the Newark Pilots, as it will be guaranteed win night. And Elmira would definitely love that after their last outing last night against the Pilots, in which they lost by a score of 12-3.
What does guaranteed win night mean, Doug?
So pretty much guaranteed win night is saying that all fans come out to the ballpark. If the Pioneers win, they win. If they don't win, everybody in attendance gets a free ticket to use in another game throughout the regular season. So the Pioneers showing their fans that they say they're going to win, and if they win, everybody is happy. And if the Pioneers lose, well, you can come out to a game free on the Pioneers for not picking up the W in the game.
But first, the Pioneers trying to take care of business in this game. 2 runners on, 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Head by only 2 runs, and now it's a 3-1 count. Zach Bikin trying to deal with the pinch hitter Lau.
As the count is 3-1, so Bikin 1 pitch away from really putting some things into the binds here for Elmira. Runners are on first and second, and now the runners are going, and that's going to be ball 4 anyways. So Bikin, with the walk, has loaded the bases, and Elmira is just by 2 runs now. It's 4-2. And the bases are full of Diamond Dogs. And the big first baseman, Justin Thomas, is going to step in. Thomas listed at 6'4", 215 out of Richboro, PA, going to Ryder, where he just finished up his junior year.
And if you're Bikin, Matt Burke is trusting you here, so let's see if you can come through and get back to throwing strikes.
And the first pitch is going to be a called strike to the first baseman, Justin Thomas. Mohawk Valley up to 5 hits now on the game. Pitcher grounded, and that went off of the mound awkwardly, and the Diamond Dogs are going to tie up the game, and the leading run is going to go to third, as that one hit off of the side of the mound and it bounded past Pete Carrier, as Carrier was headed towards second base, and it went just to the left of him and into the outfield. So it's going to be a 2 RBI single for Thomas, and that's going to tie up the ball game 4-4. And now the Diamond Dogs still a chance here to take the lead as they've got the go-ahead run on third base with the right fielder Jason Sullivan stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, setting for Bryson Ho. You're in line for the win, and now Boltman gives it back. Now he's just an interested spectator.
There's the first pitch is called strike.
And if you're Viking, you've already allowed the runs, and now your only priority is you guys just have to put that away. It already happened. Now you have to get it out of the inning. Keep this game tied. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Take something off of it again, but that one just misses outside. It's going to be a 1-1 count on the right fielder Jason Sullivan, who had the first hit of the 6 that the Diamond Dogs now have. Also made a very strong throw in right field to keep the Pioneers at 4 runs.
And this is a bouncer off of the plate. Taylor keeps it in front of him. The runners have to retreat back. So Elmira had a 4-1 lead going into the bottom of the 6th inning. But now it is a tie game 4-4. As the Diamond Dogs have plated 3 runs here in the inning.
That one also just misses, and now it's a 3-1 count. Viking having some difficulty finding the zone this inning, and the Pioneers really need to figure it out. It's already 3 runs in, and they have to find a way to keep this game tied.
And now the 3-1 from Viking. There's a called strike at the plate, and the runner is out at second. Now the throw home is not going to be in time. And the Diamond Dogs are going to take the lead. As there was a strike at the plate, Jordan Taylor threw down to second, got the runner, Thomas, but another play by Lau as he ran home and he was able to beat the throw. So just like that, a 4-run inning has given the Diamond Dogs a lead and some life in this game after they were trailing by 3 runs. Now the 3-2 pitch is in the dirt, and it's a walk as heading down to first is going to be Sullivan, and that will extend the inning.
Yeah, and for Justin Thomas, the runner on first, I think his only expectation was the catcher Taylor was not going to deliver that ball. No, the runner was on third, but when he does, runner alertly taking home. The throw wasn't in time, and make it a 5-4 game in favor of the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs. Still, the inning is still going on the bottom of the 6s, and there are 2 outs with the runner on first base.
Batter is Jake Losser, who is 0 for 2.
And takes that one outside. It's a 1-0 count. And Viking looking to finally escape this frame. Here's the pitch.
That one swung on. That's going to be a hit in front of the right fielder, Galuzdian. He throws to third, trying to get the runner. And they got him. A nice tag by the third baseman, Taylor Hilson, on the lead runner, Sullivan. And they're able to get the third out, but the Diamond Dogs have stormed back to take a lead as they score 4 times in the bottom of the 6th inning against Zach Bykins. So it was a great start for Bryson Ho, but that gets all undone. So Elmira will try to regroup here in the top of the 7th inning as they now find themselves behind by 1. As coming back out for the Diamond Dogs, actually looks like it's going to be a new pitcher here.
Number 26, and that is...
Looks like it would be number 26, and indeed it will be Lucas Galuski. As Galuski, 6'4", 205, a right-hander, attending Herkimer Community College out of Little Falls, New York, so pitching for his hometown team.
And for the Pioneers, really a rough inning there, but how about Chris Galuzian with the unbelievable throw to escape that frame, Doug?
Yeah, we've talked about early in this game, we talked about before game, we've talked about it in the other 3 games. You know, the Pioneers have a very solid outfield. We'll see what Joey Guarana has in left field, but especially in center and right field with Dixon in center and Galuzian in right, we know the arm's there, the speed is there. So the Pioneers have a potent outfield and a chance at every play if a runner's trying to advance to get an out.
Yeah, and you think if teams keep seeing Calusian deliver thirds like that, they're going to stop trying to go to third. But Calusian loves a challenge. It helps the Pioneers get some big outs so far this season, and Zach Viking really cannot need that anymore. It's struggling a little bit, but the inning is over. Now the Pioneers will take their hacks trying to tie the game and maybe even take the lead. And
sorry there, Robbie. The last couple of warm-up pitches here from the new pitcher, Lucas Galuski. As the throw down here down to second. And Elmira will kick off this top of the 7th inning. Trailing by 1, so both teams now with 7 hits in the ball game. Elmira with 2 errors defensively. Mohawk Valley with 3. And it will be Taylor Hilson to start things off for Elmira. So it'll be the 9, 1, and 2 batters. Elmira definitely has the part of their lineup up to try and tie this game back up.
And how about that? That's the 3rd time this game that the Pioneers have had 9, 1, and 2, and we're only in the 7th inning. So it seems like that part of the lineup has been coming up, and they've been able to come up big, driving in the Pioneer runs. And here's the first pitch from Galuski, and it's going to be a strike in the outer part of the plate. So it's me 0-1 to Hilson, looking for his first hit of the game. Pioneers third baseman, solid defensively, and now let's see what he can do with the bat. And the check spin ground ball right to first base. It stays fair, and the first baseman Thomas steps on the bag. Now be out number 1. So a nice start for Galuski for Mohawk Valley.
So that'll bring Kaluzzi in, trying to keep his great game going. He's 3 for 3, and he had his first home run of the season in his last at bat, the first Pioneers home run of the season. At the time, gave Elmira what they thought was a comfortable 4-1 lead. But now they've seen that go away, as it's now 5-4 in favor of the Diamond Dogs. And a ball at the plate, as for a second, Kaluzian thought about trying to lay down a bunt.
So how'd that by Kaluzian? One at bat a home run, next at bat showing bunt. Trying to really mix it up and keep these Mohawk Valley fielders guessing. That one just misses outside, and suddenly he's at 2-0. So hitters count, and made this his opportunity for him to elongate his swing, see if he can get that second homer of the game and tie this contest up. Instead, taking all the way, and now it's a strike on the outer part of the plate, so it is a 2-1 count to Chris Galuzian. 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. The Elmira Pioneers killing the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs by a 5-4 score.
Galuzian trying to get into a hitter's count here. The pitch is swung and missed. He got the fastball, but taking him right up the ladder was the pitcher, Lucas Galuski.
Yeah, and you have to think, I had an account Galuzian looking fastball, but that's not the fastball you want to swing at. It really makes it seem so much harder.
And on a 2-2 pitch, Galuzian looking all the way there.
Yep, a nice take, and now it's a 3-2 count with still 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Here's the pitch. Pops him up. Is he going to stay in play?
And it's going to get out of play. And Kaluzian will keep his at-bat alive.
Yeah, it's able to make contact. Not the type of contact he wanted, but it makes the seats, and he gets another chance on his 3-2 count.
So Kaluzian, see what he will get here on deck for Elmira. Is T.J. Dixon.
And for Galuski, does he try to elevate the fastball again?
And he gives him to the fastball, but Kaluzian just able to foul that one off over on the first base side.
A little bit of a better swing there, able to hit the ball a little more authority, but still fouled back. And he'll hope to be on that pitch a little bit more next time, maybe hit a line drive on the field of play.
So for Chris Kaluzian trying to win the battle here, and that's a bouncer. Kaluzian is going to give this one some effort, as that ball got by the catcher, Eric Strano. So it's a walk for Kaluzian, and now he's been on base all 4 times that he's come up to the plate. And that'll bring in number 1 T.J. Dixon for Elmira.
Yeah, and how Kaluzian there really is showing the hustle. He draws the walk, but he's thinking, hey, maybe the catcher will take a while to get to him. Maybe I can end up on second base. So he's running hard all the way to first base on a walk. Don't see that too often, but could have amounted to something. There's a bunt by Dixon, right down to third baseline. It's going to be a tough play for third baseman. He can't make it.
That's a great bunt by T.J. Dixon.
We've been waiting for that the entire game. The Pioneers have showed bunt so many times with that one. Dixon just lays down a beauty down third baseline, and that was going to be a very tough play. Third baseman's been charging in the entire game. That's what he's been trying to do, but Dixon was just too good there.
So T.J. Dixon now a 3-for-4 day as he gets an infield single on the bunt. He was really trying to move Kaluzdian over, but with his speed, you've got to say that he was trying to go for a hit there. And that will bring in the shortstop, Nick Walker, for Elmira.
So tying run in scoring position here for the Pioneers, and their best speed possible on the bases. Kaluzdian at second base, Dixon on first base. And don't think they'll try double steal here. Definitely, these are pretty important base runners. But Walker, a single away from tying this game up, a double away from giving the Pioneers the lead. This is going to be the first pitch from Galuski to Walker. Another bunt. Will it stay fair?
And this one does. Stays fair, stays right on the edge of the grass. And the third baseman, Collette, throws his hands up in the air. Is like, what just happened? How does that stay fair? Right on the edge of the grass. And Elmira now has got the bases loaded with one out here on back-to-back infield bunt singles. And that's going to bring Blake Nation out of the dugout to have a chat here with the Little Falls, New York native, Lucas Galuski.
And if you're the pitcher, Galuski, like, you guys have to be shaking your head. What can you do with that if they execute the bunts right down to the baseline? And that's a case where it's almost the infield cutting. Are you going to cut it so it goes foul or goes fair? Apparently, the Mohawk Valley groundskeeper decided to maybe give the hitter a little bit of favor there, make it a little easier for it to stay in fair territory. And unfortunately for the Diamond Dogs, the Pioneers just got two straight bunt singles out of it, especially that second one really being right on the line. And the third base kept waiting and waiting and waiting, and it never went foul. So it was a bunt single for Nick Walker. So the Pioneers showing the bunt earlier, now they're showing how they can execute the bunt. And the sacrifice bunt is nice, but the bunt for base hit, that's really the best.
So we're going to go with a pitching change here as Blake Nation feels like he's seen enough from Galuski. And he's going to bring in a left-handed sidewinder here for the Diamond Dogs. And it looks like it's going to be number 5. Evan Kissinger, a left-hander out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, a freshman this past year at LSU Eunice. So a little change in sidearm action here, an arm slot for the Pioneers to try and get used to. So for the Diamond Dogs, taking a look at their pitching, the way it went, as they got 6 innings out of their starter, Nick Petrella. He allowed 4 runs, as he allowed 2 in the first inning to Elmira, then he allowed 1 in the third and 1 in the fifth. The one in the fifth was the solo home run by Chris Kaluzdian. And then marked down a third of an inning of relief for Lucas Galuski. And Elmira has the bases loaded with 1 out as stepping in. It's going to be Christian Santisteban.
And this is really the perfect time to bring the lefty if you're the Diamond Dogs. The Pioneers have 3 straight left-handed hitters coming to the plate. It's Santisteban, Bellinger, and Carrier. So let's see if the left-handed hitters can deal with the left-handed pitcher with a tough arm slot. And here's the first pitch to Santisteban.
And he's going to line it right to the first baseman, but able to get back to first was Walker. So Elmira, the second time today, they've hit a laser line drive right at somebody. First time it was the pitcher, and now right to the first baseman, Thomas. And Elmira now 2 outs here with the bases loaded, as walking back to the dugout, Christian Santisteban had a big smirk on his face, thinking, look what these other guys just did, and now I get a good rip on the ball, and it goes right to the first baseman. And a first pitch is going to miss here for a ball to the batter, Zach Bellinger. A big RBI opportunity for Bellinger to try to get Elmira back into this game. They trail now by 1. It's 5-4 after a 4-run inning for the Diamond Dogs in the bottom of the 6th inning. And it's now a 2-0 count to Bellinger. Elmira 4 runs on 9 hits, 2 errors. Mohawk Valley 5 runs on 7 hits and 3 errors.
And that one's fouled off the foot of Bellinger. It's going to be a 2-1 count. Tries to get a pitch to hit there, but the side-arming delivery got him right there. And the catcher, and that is Strano, is going to come out, talk to his pitcher. Maybe that one wasn't quite where they wanted, got away with it. But it isn't always about the result. It's really about, are you putting your pitchers in a spot where they're going to get the hitters out? Maybe there's a little bit of miscommunication there. So they clarify it, and now catcher Strano goes right back to his position. So it's going to be a 2-1 count to Bellinger. Big spot, 2 outs, bases loaded. The Pioneers trail by just 1 run.
They have the bases loaded. Runners take their leads. The 2-1 pitch is going to be low outside for ball 3. So now Elmira maybe 1 pitch away here from having the tying run walked in. A big bat here for Zach Bellinger. He's got to stay composed at the plate. And the 3-1 is swung on, a chopper to the first baseman. And covering and making the play is going to be Thomas as Bellinger swings at the 3-1 pitch and grounds out as Elmira had a great opportunity there to try and make something of the inning, but they're going to leave the bases loaded. And the Diamond Dogs will take their 5-4 lead into the bottom of the 7th inning after its 7th inning stretch time here at the ballpark. We'll take a break. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page alongside Robbie Knopfbeer as we get set for the bottom of the 7th inning. Elmira in the field and a new pitcher in for the Pioneers as it's number 11, Austin Von Herbulis. As Von Herbulis, a 6'7" right-hander attending Skagit Valley, where he just finished up his freshman year. So that last half inning, Robbie, a big chance for Elmira to at least get the game tied back up, but maybe even get a lead. And a big 3-1 pitch. Zach Bellinger decides he wants to swing at it, and he grounds into the final out of the inning as the first baseman was able to run over and make the final out, and a big missed opportunity for Elmira.
Oh, yeah, so really bad luck there. First, you have Santisteban, who hit a bullet, but he's right at the first baseman, and then 3-1 pitch. Kissinger executes perfectly on the outer part of the plate, and he gets the ground out from Bellinger to escape the inning. And now Pioneers send Von Herbulis to the mound. And he's hoping to keep them down a run. 6'7" right-hander, a lot of potential. Let's see if he can kind of trade that potential with the results right here.
And throw down to second by the Pioneers catcher, Jordan Taylor. And stepping in, it should be Trey Stover. So Stover will lead the inning off. As it'll be the top of the lineup, the 1, 2, and 3 batters for the Diamond Dogs.
And let's see if Von Herbulis can come out throwing strikes and kind of do the reverse of what happened last inning. Here's his first pitch.
And that's going to be a called strike. Von Herbulis, this is his second appearance of the season. He saw action in the Pioneers' opening game of the 2014 season in Watertown against the Rams. Of course, his outing there was a little bit different as Elmira was able to win that game against Watertown 13-3. So when he came in, the Pioneers had already finished off their 7-run inning and were up by a score at that time of 13-2. So things are a little bit different dynamically in this game as now the Pioneers trailing Mohawk Valley 5-4. And the pitch from Von Herbulis is going to be outside for a ball. And the scoreboard seems to not be working, so the count 1 ball and 2 strikes as the PA announcer signals the call.
And Von Nervalis, big opportunity. If he can pitch well here, maybe the Pirates look to him in bigger spots moving forward.
And the 1-2 is swung on and missed, strike 3. And that's the first out of the inning as Trey Stover is set down and strikes.
Yeah, could not recognize the changeup. Beautiful pitch by Von Herbelis, and he gets a big first out of the inning. Still waiting for the scoreboard, and does have the first out.
So apparently the balls and strikes maybe not working. We'll see here as we await the first pitch to Colin Hawk, who is 0 for 3 on the afternoon. Von Herbelis' delivery is bunted but foul.
And the Diamond Dogs trying to steal the Pioneers' idea of bunting, but it doesn't work out so well there. Once again, something for Hilson at third base to think about. Have to see if maybe cause him to come in a couple steps.
And Hilson, through these first 4 games for Elmira, has been very active at third base. And now a breaking ball from Von Herbelis is going to get past the catcher, Taylor.
With no harm, no foul there, nobody on base. So if you're Von Herbelis, you say, okay, that wasn't a very good breaking ball. Let me try it again later and hopefully get better results.
And now a fly ball hit out here to center field. T.J. Dixon running in, and he's going to make the catch on the run for Elmira. So that will be the second out of the inning as Hawk is retired. So that'll bring in Zach Collette, the third baseman for the Diamond Dogs.
And if you're Von Herbelis there, you know you have a very good outfield defense. You have a big ballpark, so whatever, throw a pitch up, and if you get that fly ball, your chances are you're doing pretty good.
So 2 away. Collette will step in. He waits the first pitch from Von Herbelis, and that's going to be a high fastball and a late call by the home plate umpire, but it's going to be strike number 1. They'd already put ball 1 up on the scoreboard. See if they leave it, and they will. So Von Herbelis delivers the 0-1, and this one's going to be low. So now they've got the count as 2-0, but the count is 1-1. As there was a signaled strike by the home plate umpire. And this one's in the dirt. So the count now 2-1.
Yeah, whatever the count is, Von Herbelis just has to get back and throw strikes.
Von Herbelis gets his signs from the catcher, Jordan Taylor, the pitch. And that one is going to be a called strike. So we'll see now if the count is 2-2. No signal from the home plate umpire. The pitch from Von Herbelis is swung on. That one's driven to left field. Ranging back the left fielder and making the catch is going to be Garana, and Elmira gets out of the inning. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Von Herbelis as he settles down the Diamond Dogs. So it's still a 1-run game as Elmira trails Mohawk Valley 5-4 as we've played 7 full here from Veterans Memorial Park in Little Falls, New York. As we'll take a break. When we come back, the Pioneers will have their bats at the plate in the top of the 8th inning. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Veterans Memorial Park in Little Falls, New York, as the Pioneers get set to kick off the top of the 8th inning, as it'll be Pete Carrier leading things off. So for Elmira, it'll be the 6, 7, and 8 batters, Carrier, Guarana, and Taylor. And on the 0-1 pitch, it's a called strike. Is back out to work here for the Diamond Dogs. It'll be number 5, Evan Kissinger, the side-throwing left-hander. And this one's in the dirt. Carey is able to hold up. Kissinger did his job out of the bullpen for Blake Nation last half inning. Came in with the bases loaded and 1 out, and got a line out to the first baseman and then a ground out to get out of the jam. Now the 1-2 is going to be outside for a ball as the count evens up here at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
A nice job by Carrier working his way back into the count against the tough lefty. Here's the pitch.
And a chopper off the plate. Carrier hustling down the line. The throw by the shortstop's in time. And that's going to be the first out. So that'll bring up the left fielder, Joey Grania.
And once again, it's another left-handed batter for the Pioneers against the lefty Kissinger, who, yeah, with his arm slot, definitely giving them problems. So far, he's retired all 3 lefties at his face. Grania will hope to finally change that and force them to get on base. Showing bunt and takes the ball, and the Pioneers have been executing that strategy all day, getting their third baseman a little bit in, and then every once in a while, I guess he has to mix them up. Actually laying down the bunt and laying down a bunt successfully twice last inning. And here's the 1-0 to Grania.
And that's a called strike. So the count evens up at a ball and a strike for the Pioneers with Jordan Taylor, the catcher, on deck. The 1-1 from Kissinger is going to be low. Good eye there by Grania as it's 2-1.
Yeah, Grania still looking for that first hit as a member of the Pioneers, and this is his first day with the team.
Collette playing in at third, and now a pitch is high here, just above the lettering of the jersey. Scores 5-4 in favor of the Diamond Dogs here in the top of the 8th inning. They used a 4-run bottom of the 6th inning to take the lead against Elmira after trailing 4-1. Early on in the game, it was all Elmira as they scored 2 in the top of the 1st, 1 in the 3rd, and 1 in the 5th. And really, the Pioneers have been led offensively by their 1 and 2 batters, as between Kaluzdian and Dixon, there's 6 of the 9 Elmira hits. And Kaluzdian's been on base all 4 times he's been up. This one's chopped into the ground. Second baseman will throw it over, and a nice play there by Hawk, and that's the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up the catcher, Taylor.
And for Taylor here, obviously obviously you want to come away with the run here, but at the very least, you really just want to turn over your lineup. The 9-hitter Hilson's on deck, and if your best chances in 9th inning is really to have your 1, 2, 3 guys, Kaluzzi, Dixon, and Walker. So let's see if Taylor can finally get on in this game and extend this inning.
So it'll be Taylor, who's 0 for 3. First pitch is a called strike.
So Taylor, the first right-handed batter to go up against the lefty Kissinger. Let's see, he's going to have a nice long look at the ball. What's the set against one side is easy to see against the other, and that's ball 1. So it's going to be a 1-1 count.
So a good eye there by Taylor. As the count evens up, now he'll try things again here, as this one's going to be low for a ball. The count is 2 balls and a strike. Jordan Taylor trying to keep the inning alive. Taylor Hilson in the on-deck circle for the Pioneers. Man, the 2-1 is going to miss just inside, and the count is 3-1.